welcome to Honey WTF podcast.
Welcome.
I am Shonda.
I'm Rafael.
And welcome again, fellow Americans.
Fellow Americans.
That's going to be my opening line.
This is
fellow Americans.
This is America's best podcast, viewed and liked by many Americans nationwide.
Yes.
So we're going to get started.
All right.
And today we have a few topics we're going to talk about. And first on the list is Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick. Howard. What's wrong with that guy?
Okay. I think let's just...
No, something's wrong with Howard Lutnick.
Howard Lutnick is the person who went on another podcast, someone else's podcast, and said, and I'm just going to kind of paraphrase as much as I can, that his 94-year-old mother-in-law, if she missed her Social Security check one month, she would just go, "Oh, there must have been a mistake. I'll wait till next month." To get my check. She wouldn't call and pitch a fit.
It wouldn't faze her. She wouldn't
her.
think that there's something going on wrong with the government or that she was done wrong.
Yeah. And anyone who does call and raise a brouhaha, they're clearly frauds.
Fraud?
Somehow, or committing fraud. And those are the only people who would raise a hullabaloo.
So Howard Lutnick, who is a billionaire, has a mother-in-law that he doesn't take care of at all. He doesn't give her one red cent. She's on a fixed income and has Social Security is all she has.
Is that true? Or
Well, I mean, that's what he makes it, because, I mean, why would he mention his mother-in-law getting a Social Security? Why would his mother-in-law get a Social Security check? He's a billionaire. Billionaires don't really go to the projects or to the trailer park to find their wives. They kind of mess with other billionaires, or at least millionaires, right?
Yeah.
I don't know who this woman is. I can't say nothing bad about her, but her son-in-law is a total dick. Because he just put his mother-in-law in a fucked up lie.
Very much so.
And told the country that his mother-in-law is so feeble-minded that if she didn't get her Social Security check and she needed it, she would say, "Oh, well, I'll get it next month. It's okay.
I can eat next month.
I can eat next. I can get my medication next month. I can do all this next month. No worries. I'm not fraudulent."
I don't want to look like a fraud.
That is the most, but what he said was the most, what he said was the most asinine thing the Secretary of the United States Commerce could say about people. That if you're worried about not getting what you got coming to you and you need it because you're on a fixed income and you rely on that Social Security check, and if you say, "I need my Social Security check, where is it?" You're the problem. You should, because you're loud about it.
I don't know what to say about people who think like that. There's some sense of he's either out of touch,
very out of touch,
or and that's just, if you're that far out of touch, you shouldn't be in any form of government, any role within the government. If you're that out of touch, it's just ridiculous.
I don't think there's any way anybody could be that out of touch. It's more just insensitive and trying to build a narrative that they're trying to say there's a lot of fraud going on. And since there's just fraud, we need to fix this whole program because of all the fraud that is. And if you cry about it, you're the one that's that's defrauding the country.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That sounds like what he said to me. So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's horrible. There is problems with Social Security.
There are.
I don't agree with everything that goes on with Social Security.
But the thing is, and reasonable people don't agree, and we can see the problems. The whole problem with everything that they're doing right now is that they are just going in and just wrecking things.
Yeah,
they're not looking at anything, and you really have to start. I mean, you have to cry and scream once it starts impacting you, and maybe they'll change course. Like Elon said, there are going to be mistakes, and we'll fix them. But maybe by the time, if you just went about it the right way, maybe
what
you can avoid
doing is they're wrecking the government and upturning people's lives and incomes and careers.
And causing a lot of anxiety.
If you say something about it, you're not a patriot. Something's wrong with you because you don't agree with how we're doing this.
Yeah.
You're the enemy of the people. You're a Democrat because you don't agree with how we just took your job.
Yeah.
And put you out in the cold and forced you to change your career into the private sector.
Yeah. Well,
that's what they're doing.
That's what they're doing.
But back to Social Security, what I was thinking about. So I need to get my Social Security, right? Yeah. Whatever I got in there, I don't want to hear about, there's not enough money in there and this and that, because
absolutely not.
It's, to my understanding, some congressmen and senators or whoever got together and borrowed from the Social Security and never paid it back.
Put it back.
And
yeah, that's true.
If it's my understanding, it was Republicans that did this back in the 80s and 90s, and they really screwed it up. But my opinion on the Social Security, it may not be a popular opinion, but I really feel that for the people that work and pay for Social Security out of their check, they should all be able to get that money back. But Social Security also funds people that can't work, and they receive Social Security benefits because of a disability. I don't think those two funds should be mixed together. It should be a separate thing for the people that work and pay into it, and for the disability and people that get it because they can't work, there should be a different fund to fund those people. I'm all for even paying a different tax for it. That's fine. But what I pay for Social Security, I need to get that money back, and I don't need to hear any threats that, it's going to be less when it's not going to be, it's not all going to be there for you. And your retirement age is now going to be 70 years old. I can't do 70 years old. I mean, I don't want to do 70 years old. So, not unwillingly. I don't want to have to do 70. I could do 70, but I don't want to be forced to do 70 just to get a full benefit.
Okay, well, here, because you just said a lot, right, in regard to Social Security and disability. So Social Security started out being about a safety net for older people because they didn't have the funds to they would fall into poverty because they didn't have the funds, right?
Yeah.
So they created the Social Security. Now they expanded it to include disability and survivorship.
Mm-hmm.
And because they saw this huge gap, right? Because the whole purpose is to keep citizens out of poverty. So that's the whole thing. So what they did was, I asked how was the disability portion funded. The disability portion of Social Security was designed to be funded in the same way as retirement benefits through payroll taxes collected from workers and their employers. Here's how the funding works. When you earn wages, a portion of your paycheck, we already know that, these taxes fund two major trust funds. So they go into a trust. The OASI, Old Age and Survivors Insurance, and then the disability insurance. So it breaks it up and puts it there. So that's why the money is there, because it's also there for you in case you get injured and you're disabled. So it's kind of the same thing.
Understood. But I mean, what they're doing is they're calling it an entitlement program.
The Republicans.
Yeah. Right. And they're attacking it as an entitlement program. Mm-hmm. So that's fine. Right. And that's what I said. I don't mind paying for both parts. Mm-hmm. But I think one should be separated from the other. The two is, and so the one that where we're paying into it so we can get our benefits at the retirement age for retirement benefits, that should be separate from the disability. Because what's happening,
funds.
Yeah, but what's happening is they're saying, oh, here's the thing. Oh, there's not enough money in it now. Now we got to move the retirement age. See, we're the only ones that suffer because the people with the benefits, they're not saying, oh, there's not enough money in it now. You have to wait another extra 10 years before you get your benefits, right? But they're telling that to us, the people that the middle class, it's like the middle class always gets screwed, right? We're working hard for 40, 50 years. Mm-hmm. And then when we get there, they're saying, oh, wait a minute, we're going to move the bar for you because there's not enough money in there, right? But the people that can't work, they're still getting what they get. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
And so how do we separate the two to where the people that work and pay into it don't get hurt and don't have to wait until another 5 years or 10 years or so to get their money, so then finally when they get their money, you get it for 3 years and then you die.
Okay. I hear what you're saying, but I think the overall purpose of Social Security is for everybody. It's not, like I said, I just talked about half of it, right? So then there does need to be a change in Social Security because the overall purpose, it doesn't serve the people. There's nothing that serves able-bodied people. No, really.
that are making it. There's nothing that serves able-bodied people that are making it and working hard to make it and only get just into the middle class, whether it's upper middle class or lower middle class or right in the middle. We're all screwed.
Well, here's the thing too, though. If you are in the middle class, you also have 401k plans. You have ways to supplement your Social Security income if you get it. You do.
Yeah, I know, but that other income that you're looking for is what you want.
Well, yeah,
right. Our little 401ks, or I'm glad I got a plasterer's pension, but that's not good. That's not enough.
That's true.
It's not enough.
It's not.
And I was kind of dependent on all my Social Security money for it. I counted it in to my retirement plan.
Yeah, and that's what you do.
Right?
You go to a financial planner.
Yes, and that's what you do.
So.
And they send you a notice saying a statement saying this is, if you work till this day, you're going to get this much money. Mm-hmm. But what's going to happen is that statement, it's not going to mean the same thing 5 years from now, because they're going to say, well, now you got to work till this day to get this much money, less money.
But here's the thing. There are people talking about it, right?
Yeah.
And they've been talking about this for years.
Oh, for years.
And so, I mean, decades, actually. They haven't done that.
Well, but no, they've raised the age.
They have.
Right? Yeah. My brother's age he's at 63, I think, or 65. I'm at 67. Right? Yeah. My brother's only 5 years older than me. Yeah. And so people born at a certain date, they raise their age on those people.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're already screwing us.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
So,
and then here's the thing. What do you think about, like, with the deportations and everything? Right? They're rounding up people who have been paid
into it, and they're kicking. Where's all that money going?
Yeah. Well,
just a whole lot of people working on these housing tracts all over the place that have been paying in Social Security, whether it's a green card or a fake Social Security number. Somebody's paying. Mm-hmm. They're paying that Social Security.
They are.
Right?
Yeah.
So where's that money going? Because they're not getting it back for retirement.
Right.
And
where is that?
They're not eligible for any SSI or anything.
Yeah.
Where's that money going?
That's the problem with the government and all the money is that there's no transparency in any of this stuff.
Yeah, there's no.
Or maybe we just don't know
no. When they talk about fraud, see, they don't talk about Musk. He says, "Oh, we found all this money of fraud in Social Security, and it's 100 people that are 160 years old still getting checks." Oh, that's what you found. You didn't find that there was 1 million Mexicans or Hispanic people or immigrants in here working that were working and paying into it and then left the country. Mm-hmm. And probably will never see any of it. You didn't, what about that?
Yeah, what about that?
What about all the people that work that aren't married, that don't have a spouse, but die?
Yeah.
Where does that money go?
Well, you have actuaries who designed this whole system.
Yeah.
So all that stuff's been factored in.
So, yeah, but why is it?
I will say that part as far as, people dying.
True, but why is there not enough money? Why do they keep saying there's not enough money in the Social Security for the people when there's all these other things that are going on? It's not a hour for hour thing, right? Because you got people that put in hours and hours that aren't going to collect on it.
Yeah,
there's a whole lot. So
that's true. All right,
that's it.
Yeah,
and but Howard Lutnick, your mother-in-law's a nice, sweet lady, but you are a dick.
Hopefully his 94-year-old mother's.
Yeah, hopefully.
We'll assume she is. All right. So next topic, George. Derrick Chauvin. This is a couple weeks back.
Yeah.
When
so Shapiro, some
podcaster decided he wanted to go on a crusade to pardon Derrick Chauvin.
Derrick Chauvin.
Derrick Chauvin is the ex-officer who kneeled on George Floyd's neck and killed him.
Yeah.
And okay, this man. Well, for number one. It's not anything from the Trump administration. This is some podcast dude who has a following and all of that. And he's asking for the pardon. And it's another one of those things that gets thrown out there that the media chases.
It chases.
And puts it out there for us to all, clutch our pearls.
You know what's interesting?
All of that.
We were just talking what Lutnick said about the loudest person is a fraud.
Yeah. There you go. That's, yes.
You know?
And he just told on himself.
He tells on himself. Yeah.
The whole party.
Yeah, he told on everybody.
He told on Trump. Trump is
because he's the biggest complainer, right?
He is the biggest complainer.
But with this George,
that's right.
Just this whole this Chauvin thing is why. They interviewed his girlfriend, George Floyd's girlfriend,
Courtney Ross,
on MSNBC. Why are you doing this, MSNBC? You got time. You have time to do other stuff, right?
That's very much more important.
That's very more important than this. Because the whole thing, and he kind of said it when he started the story, right?
Oh, did he?
Yeah, but he said, the reason why I'm here is because I got a call from his girlfriend. But we don't need to talk to her. Really. We don't need to do this. And it's not going to change. He could get pardoned or whatever. He's still not getting out until 2038.
Period.
Because that's it. That's the same date.
For those who don't understand, he is serving consecutive time for federal as well as state.
Yeah.
And it's all about the same 20-something odd years, 21, 22 years, whatever.
Uh-huh.
And so if Trump pardons him, it's only for the federal crime. He's still going to be in jail for the
state.
There. So it doesn't really matter. And if Trump did that, it's just more for show for his base. And
that's
whatnot.
all it is.
And he's not the one who brought it up. It's some podcaster who does have Trump's ear.
Yeah.
Right. He does, but it's just the media really needs to be more selective on what the hell they're bringing to people and whether or not we actually need to be concerned about it. It's really obnoxious. And that's the reason we're here today, is because the media does this crap.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to say, like with CNN and MSNBC, Fox News, they know they have a cult following. Those people are what they're just where they're at, right? Mm-hmm. The rest of us really want to be informed citizens. We really want to know what's going on. We want to know just the facts, and we want to be able to make real serious decisions, not just for our own personal selves, but for many of us, just for the least of us. We want to make sure that the least of us at least has an opportunity for something, right?
Yeah.
And that's the only way we're going to get that, is to really hear facts and things that are really going to impact us. This doesn't impact us.
We don't want to hear opinions and feelings.
We don't.
We don't want to be taught or told how to feel about your opinion. Just tell us the fact.
Tell us the fact.
And then we can process it on our own.
And don't bring irrelevant things.
Yeah.
I know y'all got time to you have to be on the air 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
They have to be on the air 24 hours a day.
Yeah. But they could put that little 3 minutes that they talked about that could have been better off talking about something else.
Yeah.
Right?
Explaining something.
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely. Or even like say, okay, well, here's some steps you should probably take to secure your funds or try to find different revenue streams or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, especially that's a good point, because at the same time, they're talking about Lutnick as well.
Yeah.
They could spend time explaining the history of Social Security.
Yes, exactly.
And why it's where it's
Basically
at.
like we did.
Exactly.
But they didn't talk about any of that.
They didn't talk about any of it.
Okay.
The media has a lot of work to do.
A lot.
They have a lot of work to do.
So, I know you guys are frustrated with the media. So whenever you feel that frustration, come to the Honey WTF podcast. We'll give you the facts with only a little bit of opinion coming from. I'll give you my opinion, but
I'll tell you.
I'll tell you how to feel.
I will look up stuff.
Yeah. But no, we're not going to tell you how to feel. We're probably just going to be straight to you and talk to you like we're just in the room with you, basically. Mm-hmm. And that's where we're at.
Right.
So
I just want the facts.
Yeah.
I'm an Aries. And that's how we roll.
Yeah.
We just want the facts. And we'll make our own decisions from there. So, all right. So, okay, next topic. I love your take on this because I think you've thought through it so freaking well. So we're going to talk about Tesla and the accusations that Musk is throwing out there and his other little single family.
Musk and the whole right
news and all of that.
The whole right clown show
about the vandalism of the vehicles and of the charging stations and the dealerships.
Yeah. So, and the media, because I think the media is guilty as well.
Again,
as repeating this stuff, because it's not fact. There's no fact. There's nothing that can tell anybody that the people protesting Tesla are burning up Tesla dealerships and the cars. There's no fact. There's no arrest.
There were. They had arrested 2 people. Yeah, actually. The DOJ 3 days ago charged 3 people with vandalizing Tesla property.
The DOJ. Okay, so the DOJ.
Yeah.
Pam Bondi's DOJ, which is in no way weaponized
at all.
They're straight up. But the DOJ charged 3 people. This shouldn't, vandalizing, right, a dealership, that's a local police department and DA thing. Mm-hmm. You understand me?
I do.
Why would this be in the DOJ? Right. Tesla is not a part of the U.S. government.
Right.
It's not a federal crime. The DOJ deals in federal crimes, right? That's just how it's crazy.
Well, here's the thing. Trump, whatever he says now, is what it is. It is what it is. If he comes out and says, if we
they're
want
terrorists.
That these folks who are doing these things to Tesla are terrorists and we're going to go after them, that's what they're going to do. Yeah. So, and that's what they're doing. The Trump administration has made clear protests against Tesla would be treated as domestic terrorism, which is such a joke after the January 6th. It's so hard for us to swallow this.
Yeah, I know. Like, it's so dangerous and it's so bad, right?
It is.
Because a Tesla charging station got burned up. The Democrats did this.
But listen.
I thought the Democrats were supposed to be the nice people, and they did this. It's a sickness.
I look forward to watching the sick terrorist thugs get 20-year jail sentences for what they are doing to Elon Musk and Tesla. This is what Trump posted on Truth Social on Friday morning. Perhaps they could serve them in the prisons of El Salvador, which have become so recently famous for such lovely conditions. This is the President of the United States.
Yeah. And they're making shit up.
This is frightening.
It is frightening. They are making shit up.
Ooh.
It's crazy.
I don't. All three defendants will face the full force of the law for using Molotov cocktails to set fire to Tesla cars and charging stations. In this,
so what? So
what happened to guilt? Innocent until proven guilty.
Until proven guilty.
Has there been? There's been no trial.
No trial. There's been because nothing. You know why? Because this is all made up.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
This is all.
I'm reading this, by the way.
They have to
Fortune.
take it.
So, yeah.
What are you reading?
I'm reading this quote from Fortune.com. That's where I'm getting this
Oh.
information. I'm just letting
Yeah.
know. So.
But they have to, yeah, of course. They're going to say that we found such and such, right?
Right.
That did this.
Yeah. Now, earlier you were pointing out, you were saying who benefits from
this? Who would, so yeah, that's the thing. It's like George Soros is paying these protesters, right? Mm-hmm. And this and that. George Soros is paying these Tesla protesters, these Democrats, they're getting paid to go out there and protest, right? Mm-hmm. And what were you saying?
I was saying...
do a blank.
And it's like,
but we don't. It's like it's.
You were saying who benefits from it?
Yeah, who benefits? Who would actually benefit from the accusations of the opposing party burning up Teslas,
right,
and vandalizing Tesla dealerships and charging stations? Who would benefit from doing that?
Certainly not the protesters.
Yeah, the protesters have no benefit in that.
At all. I mean,
and they know this.
Yeah.
And so then they try to add to it. It must be a mental illness. Mm-hmm. Because they know there's no benefit for anybody. They're doing it because it's a mental illness that the left have. When they don't get their way, they go and they burn stuff up. Mm-hmm. But it's been proven that whenever there's a protest or whatever, the right or the ones that will send agitators or people to go in and start burning stuff up.
Mm-hmm. It's really a playbook.
Yes, it's a playbook.
So it's part of the... Yeah, I'll say it's part of the playbook for this kind of stuff. So you could be onto something. I don't know. Again, I don't, I just thought it was interesting. And I think that you have a really good point. The only people to benefit from this kind of thing would be Trump and Musk.
Yeah.
They would, become...
Because their whole thing is to make Democrats appear as the enemy of the people,
right?
Which he's reiterated over and over again.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And
using words deranged and lunatics.
Deranged, lunatic, and all that.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And we're not. I don't like Teslas. I don't like Elon Musk. I'm not going to go blow up a charging station and throw Molotov cocktails.
I didn't like him before he...
I didn't like him before. Yes.
I didn't like him when he took over Twitter.
Yes. And as soon as he took over Twitter all of a sudden became very racist.
Twitter was so much fun.
It was.
It was a lot of fun. We used to watch The Walking Dead.
And we used to go on there and be able to interact with people and this and that for all the shows.
Yes.
It was so much fun. It was good.
Yeah. And then
when we first started the podcast with the the reality shows. Go on Twitter and go back and forth with people.
Yeah.
It was like the thing to do when you're watching something. You go on Twitter and see what people are saying about it.
And now it's just
it's
I'm glad
horrible.
I deleted it and got rid of it.
Yeah, I deleted mine. I'm done with it too. But now it's just a cesspool of misinformation and Russian propaganda. That's all it is.
Very unfortunate.
Very unfortunate.
All right. Next up, we were just talking to this. Trump calling for the impeachment of the federal judges. Again, using language like lunatic.
Yes.
This lunatic judge. And I mean, when you hear these things, and I'm really speaking to not Democrats, but if you're listening to this podcast and you don't think that your vote matters and you didn't vote and you never vote, you've got to understand that it's so important that you do. And I know you hear this all the time from people, but it is really important. There are more than 80 million people who did not vote.
They should have voted.
Who didn't vote.
Should have went there and voted, because now the DOJ, are we supposed to believe the DOJ when they tell us that they got 3 guys that were vandalizing Tesla, right? Are we supposed to believe the DOJ when they're arguing with judges? Right?
Who are doing their job.
That are doing their job.
What they are tasked
by the book.
Do.
What's in the book. And when one judge says, no, you're not right, that's not how it's done, he's a liberal. He's a liberal judge.
Liberal activist.
Yeah, he's a liberal activist judge. He's an Obama judge. No, he wasn't appointed by Obama, sorry.
Right.
And he actually sided with you on some immigration shit back in 2016. So now you don't like the guy because he's telling you that the way you're going about doing something is wrong, and you can't legally do it like that because there's rules and laws to the game.
Well, actually, this particular judge asked when the folks they sent back to Venezuela, when those folks actually were on the plane, because they weren't supposed to send them off, but they're saying that they were flown out before they got these orders.
Yeah.
And the Trump administration is stonewalling the information that he's asking for. And he's pushing back on them. And that's what I just wanted to clarify.
So,
that.
but from what I heard is that he knows that a couple of the planes left after he gave the order.
Right, which is why they're not giving him the information that he's asking for.
Yeah.
That's what they're hiding.
Yeah.
Because he's like, they sent a second response to what he said. And it was exactly the same. And he's like, look, y'all, look, don't play with me.
Yeah.
This is exactly what you gave me before. I need this. This is unacceptable.
And that's the thing.
And Trump does not like to be challenged.
No.
Like that.
And well, yeah, but sorry, you're being challenged. But the thing is, he's trying to back away from it now. He's saying when asked about his the proposal to invoke the Alien
Enemies Act of 1799?
the Alien Enemies Act of 1798 or 89.
1789.
89.
Alien Enemies Act of 1789.
He said he didn't sign the the resolution or
he
whatever?
Didn't sign that.
He didn't sign that. He said he didn't sign it. He said, I didn't sign it. Somebody else must have signed it, but they're doing a great job. Rubio's doing a great job. Right?
Okay.
So, but there's 2 points to that. Him saying he didn't sign it and the other people in his administration signed it, right? Mm-hmm. But when he said that, it brought me back to last week when he said Biden didn't sign the pardons. There must have been other people signing those pardons with his pen. But he claimed that he didn't sign this, right?
So he's telling on himself.
He's telling, yeah. So what's bad for Biden is good for him. He could have other people sign his shit, but Biden can't, right? So, but he's trying to step away from it. But the White House's response to him saying he didn't sign it is comical. It's crazy. They said he meant he didn't sign the original act back in 1789.
Well, that's what I thought he was saying, and I was like, well, sir, duh.
No, well, he didn't sign. No, that's not what he was saying.
Listen. I never know what the fuck he's saying. What the fuck he means about anything.
He invoked the act, right? In a proclamation. And so there was a proclamation to invoke because he says we're at wartime with these people and I'm invoking this act, right?
Okay, yeah.
And so he signed it.
Okay.
Because they found it, they looked it up, and lo and behold, he did sign it.
Uh-huh.
Right?
But then he
did sign that.
Okay.
But then he's saying, I didn't sign it, somebody else signed it, and Marco Rubio's doing a great job. He tried to throw it off on somebody else. Right?
Okay.
But then what the White House is saying that, no, he meant he didn't sign the original law, the original act back in 1789, which is, come on, don't be stupid.
I'm sorry.
Either way, he signed some shit. But
I don't, we know when he talks, it's very hard to follow what he's really trying to say.
It's not no.
I don't know
because I know what he says.
Well,
everybody knows what he says, but the thing about it is, after he says it, he has Trump-splainers coming on explaining shit, and when Trump and this particular Trump-splain that they said was no, he meant he didn't sign the act back in 89, which is so crazy to say.
I just thought he had a senior moment, or just, I don't know. I was just like, well,
he really forgot that he saw I seen it when he did. He was sitting at his desk and he said, "This is executive order to invoke the Alien Enmity Act."
Enemy,
whatever.
Okay. Well, I didn't want to be here. That's why I voted the other way, because I wouldn't have to try and decipher what he's meaning or anything. This is what we went through for 4 years that just depleted my soul. And we're here again with this person, with all the double talk, with all the just nastiness and everything, and how anyone could want to live through that again is completely beyond
how
me.
Anyone would think that that's a good thing and that things are good right now is ridiculous.
I don't know how, but well, time's going to tell, because there's a lot of things coming down the pike that he is planning to do. I know there's going to be things that are timed for this mid-year election because he doesn't want to lose the upper hand that he has. So he's going to tread lightly. You know, I mean, he's going through like a bull in a china shop right now. But the closer you get to the election, he's going to have to slow down on stuff.
But here's, okay, I can't. Yeah, I can't. I just had a thought. I'm not going to go out there. But the way things seem to be headed, the dangerousness of his rhetoric and what they're saying, right, about the domestic terrorism and the protesting. And he's, look, they're trying to throw this guy out of the country for protesting, which last I heard was legal in the United States, right? Mm-hmm. And all this, and we could be looking at, it's possible. I'm not saying it's going to happen. It's possible with the rhetoric and the direction that he goes, and with the talk about the enemy of the people or the Democrats and all this stuff, and if trying to say that if you attack Tesla, that's all build up for some martial law type shit. And that's what we could be looking at for the 2026 elections incoming.
Why would that be?
Well, because, why would it be? That's where this is where they're, with their rhetoric, that's where they're going.
Okay.
This is the playbook. This is like straight out of a Hitler playbook.
Okay. Well,
with all the talk about if you don't agree with Trump, there's something wrong with you.
Well, I understand all of that. And here's the thing. We can hearken back to the Hitler days. But the thing is, Hitler was new. What was going on there was relatively new. I don't think that anyone, rolled in the way he rolled back then. So people didn't have a reference point. And now we have a reference point, and things are kind of different. So
but
maybe
who cares about the reference point?
Well, the reference point is that there are people who can counter this stuff too.
Yeah, but if you counter it, something's wrong with you. You're not a patriot. And you're against Trump, and you have Trump derangement syndrome, and we're trying to make that a mental illness as well.
Okay.
What's the counter? I'm just saying, what's the counter?
Well, not falling for it. Because now that we know that that's what it is, and it's some propaganda and it's programming and all of that, once people know this kind of stuff, then it's easier to combat it and not necessarily fall for it, or fall for it as hard as people fell for it over there in Germany.
We're not going to fall for it. But you have...
I know half of
all of his people are falling for it. I
can't even say half of the country, because again,
just his
a lot of people
30,
did not freaking vote.
Well, I know, but maybe his core base, they all are falling for it, and they're all going for it.
Okay.
Right?
There's always going to be people who fall for goofy crap.
I know, but there's a danger in that.
I know there is, but I can't be in despair. It's just not.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm just saying. That's what I was saying. You just have to. Those are one of the things that we can see. There's a possibility. The way things are going with all his rhetoric, we wouldn't think he'd be president because of all the rhetoric and all the craziness going on. Farthest thing that we thought that no way. Who would be stupid enough to vote for this guy?
True that.
Right? True. But look at where we are.
Look at where we are.
We didn't think he'd win the first time because it was crazy. Grabbing pussies.
I don't want to.
But look where we are, right? So there's an agenda here, and it's moving forward.
Y'all don't know how.
There has to be something other than the return of Christ to stop this shit.
Well, to many of his followers, he is Christ.
And that's the problem. So anyway, we're at the end of our show. Sorry, we have to go.
We can't even go on a happy note because now I'm just like looking back at the first 4 years and how painful.
You know what's the happy note is? You know what here's the happy note.
What is the happy note?
We will be back.
I gotta go to sleep.
Okay, we can go to sleep, but we coming back. Maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day, but we will be back in a couple days with a new show with more facts and more sorrow. And
no,
we'll be back.
We're gonna talk about TV shows.
Please,
we're gonna talk about TV shows next time.
I don't watch TV, but we'll be back.
Yes, you do.
And oh, you know what? We should talk about Breaking Bad. We re-binged watched Breaking Bad.
We did.
Breaking Bad was like the best show ever.
It really was.
That was like it was
it's
so
one
good.
Of the top. That was a really good period in TV.
That was a good
because it was that
Breaking
and with
Bad
Walking Dead.
That was the
Sons of Anarchy.
That was the show
great
right
TV,
there.
Great TV. So
anyway, we watched it all again. Now we got to watch Better Call Saul.
Yeah, we got to finish El Camino.
Okay, we'll do that.
All right.
So,
John.
okay, that's what we're
all
going to do
fellow
right
Americans.
now. Yeah, fellow Americans, this is America's Best Podcast. Honey, WTF. We're going to come back and we won't be sad. We're going to be happy and everybody's going to be happy. See y'all later.
Bye.